Thank you, Bart, and what an environment we have for you here on the Plains. Auburn Arena for the Iron Bowl of Gymnastics. 10th-ranked Alabama taking on number 13 Auburn. Along with Olympic silver medalist and three-time NCAA champion Sam Peshek, I'm Alex Perlman. So glad to join you here for what should be an exciting and incredible way to start the SEC season.
Absolutely, and we had a chance to talk to Dana Duckworth coming into this competition. It is their first meet of the season, and she has a vision coming into today's competition.
Well, the fifth year didn't exactly go the way that Coach Duckworth wanted. They missed out on nationals. It's a little bit of a redemption tour for them, but certainly have one of the better athletes on beam and in the all-around, Lexi Graber.
She has just been so consistent here at Alabama, and she attributes it all to her mindset. She said she's always thinking, how can I help my team today, and how can I do one thing better each competition? And that's really pushed her each year.
And it's a tale of two different seasons, because for Auburn and head coach Jeff Graber, this is his 10th year. His 9th was the best in Auburn history, finishing second in the SEC behind Florida, who perennially is going to win, or at least have a great chance to win the conference. And he has his team primed for another spectacular year.
And one important athlete that was critical to their success last year was Darian Goborn. She's arguably one of the most productive gymnasts on the roster, and she's only a sophomore. But tonight, she's not doing the all-around, and she's not happy about it. But with this being Auburn's very first home meet and her competitive spirit, we can expect great things from the three events she is competing.
So with Auburn being the home team in this Iron Bowl matchup, it will be the Tigers on vault to begin things in rotation one. A good look at Darian Goborn, who is celebrating her 20th birthday, so a little bit more fuel to the fire for the now sophomore, and 10 start values for 4 different gymnasts in Jeff Graber's lineup.
Yeah, it's one of their strongest events, but Jeff Graber, head coach, is not even happy with that. He wants 5 or even 6 10-0 start values in the lineup, and even an alternate to have a 10-0 start value. That's what they're working here. That's what they're working towards here at Auburn Gymnastics.
Auburn opened the season with a 1.94.375 at the Collegiate Challenge last weekend. Coach Graber said, we just didn't treat it the way we needed to. It was more like a amped up practice, and this should be very different than what we saw last weekend out west.
It was also on podium, so you can expect a little bit running out of passes, extra bounce on the table, and this event in particular has become the separator in college gymnastics.
Skylar Shepard to start us off, vaulting for the first time in 3 years.
Layout half. Last weekend's competition was her first time vaulting in 3 years. Head coach Jeff Graber said it wasn't really a physical obstacle for her, but it was more of a mental obstacle for her to even compete. She really struggled since it is a blind landing. You can see she jumped out of it there. Her hips were closed at the end, didn't quite find the landing. But again, for her, it's about overcoming that mental hurdle.
Alabama begins rotation one on bars. The number 15 bars rotation in the country last season. And it's a junior from Spanish Fort, Alabama, Kylie Dixon, to begin things. Averaged a 9.8 last year.
Head coach Dana Duckworth said she wants to practice goals to be ultra focused on the details, especially on bars. Every single handstand they're looking at locked. You see it pay off right there, early on in the lineup. Nice to Kachev, good distance away when she caught. And tuck full out, beautiful start, just slightly low on that very last cast handstand, but overall, what a nice start for Alabama.
And Sam, one of the points of emphasis, that landing, because that's what sticks in the judge's head.
Absolutely. And of course the handstands here. This is the one that she was really low on. She nailed the first handstand all the way to vertical, but that one was a little shy.
So Dixon starting off Alabama in her only event of the evening. And here's
nice
the junior
form.
Jada Glenn to start things for now on vault for Auburn. This was the only event that she competed in last season.
Yurchenko, layout full. Again, big hop back on a landing, so she'll get deducted for that, but it was good form throughout. And that's what Jeff Graba, head coach, is looking for here with his athletes. He said she actually has a Yurchenko 1.5, but they're just not ready to compete it yet. She gets good block on the table, twists a little early, and pikes down her hips just at the landing, which causes her not to be able to stick that.
So Jada Glenn following Skylar Shepard, who had a 9.75 to begin things for Auburn. Kylie Dixon with a great first routine, 9.825. And now here is the senior from Spearfish, South Dakota, Winter Childers. She has the perfect name for being from South Dakota. That's a big trip to Tuscaloosa to Spearfish.
And she's a senior, and she's one of the girls on the team that was really affected by their loss at regionals last year. She said she talked to Dana after the meet and said, if I only stuck my beam dismount, we would have qualified to NCAA. I never want to experience that again. I want to hit every single handstand. Working hard in this bar routine, and a good, nice, clean routine for Alabama. All the way, good stretch, looking to cleanly. She was able to salute. Her chest was already in the correct position when her feet hit the ground.
She is a stalwart for Jeff Graba. Competed in every vault lineup last year, and she is showing why.
Well, she only scored a 9.675 last weekend, and I can guarantee you that this score is going to be higher than that.
You're really going out on a limb there, Sam.
Yeah. Nice stretch on the table. Look how her hips were open right before she hit the ground, and that really helped her have a clean landing.
And here is Lexi Graber. We'll see her in the all-around, the only one from the Crimson Tide to compete. She was the regional all-around champion in 2018 for Alabama.
She has been just a stud on their roster. Ooh, little hiccup there. Not a major deduction, but there's definitely a break in the rhythm. Does a nice job spotting the ground before her feet hit. She put her feet on and just overshot that a little bit, had to do an extra arm swing. Again, not a huge deduction, but definitely a break in the rhythm. Finishes nicely.
Winter Childers had a 9.8, so we'll see how they score Lexi Graber's. And here is Cassie Stevens, the freshman that everybody here at Auburn is so excited about out of Phoenix. She's the reigning National Junior Olympic champion on vault.
Yurchenko 1.5. A little crooked on the end. Sometimes with all of this adrenaline, she's a freshman. You have to remember that. You can rush it a little bit on your skills. We're going to see it on the replay that she twists just slightly early off the table. Her hands hit. See, her head starts twisting before her shoulders and her hips. That's why she landed a little off-center.
Sam, how are you feeling freshman year? I mean, you obviously competed in the Olympics and won a silver medal, but how are you feeling your first home meet at UCLA?
Nothing compares to competing in college. No matter how much competitive experience you have, it's all new.
And it's, I would think, maybe a little bit more fun, more team-oriented, and you know that you have that support with you.
Absolutely.
Jency Gibbons now, the sophomore from Newport Beach, California. Not too far from where you competed.
Not too bad. Catches above the bar there, working out of it. Nice form on that overshoot. Beautiful handstand position, really showing it off before the dismount.
Big one coming.
Oh, she was close. You could see her a little bummed that she didn't stick that. A highlight for me was really that last cast handstand. But she starts off nicely with an over-the-bar mount to gain momentum right here. And of course, the double layout dismount.
Pretty good right there on the handstand.
Vertical position, absolutely. That last cast was a highlight in the bar routine.
And now here is Drew Watson, who has become a staple on the plains. 9.9 last week on vault at the Collegiate Challenge.
I saw her nail a 1.5 in warm-up just like that.
You can't do it much better. Drew Watson, all SEC as a freshman, trying to get back as a junior.
She looked calm and loose in warm-up, and this is the product of that. Always strong on vault, but to have your first home meet 1.5 be a beautiful landing like that, you can't ask for much more.
And so she's trying to follow up the 9.75 for Cassie Stevens, and I'm almost positive she's bettered that. And now Shea Mahoney, the senior from Algonquin, Illinois, averaged a 9.8 last year and was all SEC as a junior. And we welcome you on SEC Network now to Auburn, Alabama. It's the Iron Bowl of Gymnastics, Alabama-Auburn. Alex Perlman along with Olympic silver medalist and 3-time NCAA champion Sam Peshek, and we've already had a great start from both of these teams.
Auburn is looking good on vault, but Alabama is doing exactly what they said they were going to do. Working on those details, especially on bars, hitting those handstands just like Shea Mahoney. Beautiful form in that Takashi release move. Nice rhythm. Tuck full in, spots the landing, and holds on to that dismount.
Quite a bit of amplitude there on the dismount.
She really improved on this event. Right there, she's close to that vertical position. Again, it's a subjective sport. We don't know what the judges saw in real time, but she follows it up with a really nice Takachev and a dismount that's above the bar when she twists.
And amplitude, of course, a point of emphasis on bars. And here is Darian Goborn, the sophomore, the reigning national champion on vault. First time it ever happened at Auburn.
Yurchenko, 1.5.
Yeah!
Takes a step forward. Sometimes you just have a little extra adrenaline on your birthday, of course.
She turned 20 today, and she's beginning things competing in 3 events tonight.
She does that layout position before she twists, which is really nice technique. She just had too much power. It's almost as if she needs to do another full twist to find the landing perfectly. It's too easy for her, Alex.
She is a special athlete, and we will continue to see more of her finishing up on floor. She'll be the final gymnast to go for Auburn today. And now we're very excited to see this freshman out of Pickerington, Ohio, in the Columbus area, Makari Doggett, freshman, 2018 National Junior Olympic all-around champion. She won all 4 individual events, Sam, the second gymnast in history to do that.
Well, she's going to be a stud for them. And the first thing Dana Duckworth, head coach, said about Makari is that Makari and all the freshmen are proud to own the responsibility of representing Alabama gymnastics. And that was nearly a perfect routine for her first routine as an Alabama gymnast.
Yeah, welcome to the SEC in a big way for Makari.
And she anchored for them. So that tells you the amount of confidence these coaches have in this young athlete.
Should be a big first rotation now coming up for Alabama, and Doggett finishes it up the way that she wanted, and certainly that head coach Dana Duckworth was looking for as well. Rotation 2 on the way, but not too shabby for Auburn either. On vault, Drew Watson setting this place aflame here at Auburn Arena.
I saw her do it in warm-up, and she did it again in the competition. It is spectacular here.
Seven older siblings. I have a Cajun chicken nugget. My favorite color is blue. I love peanut butter. And I love collecting old books because I like to see all of them.
All right, fans, which gymnast is Agent X?
Sometimes big. I'll notice a few things. After the water keeps touching the wall. I keep the second power there. The window down.
All right, fans, you know who that is.
I'm Luke Howell. I have 2 brothers. I'm North Carolina. I'm adopted. I am their friend from my past, and I live my own.
First team is his Agent X. All right, fans, our rookie section is section 204. And with the Tigers score on ball, every fan is going over 3 chips of queso, courtesy of Rose Cypress. The 4-minute touch period begins.
Lineup, and we saw it being anchored by a freshman, Bakari Doggett, towards the end of the lineup, and it just shows how much confidence the coaches have in this young gymnast.
Yeah, it sure does. And this is one of the biggest rivalries in college athletics, and it translates to the gymnastics floor. There's no doubt about it. It's been absolutely electric, and they're hoping for their 10th ever sellout in Auburn Arena.
I think they're going to continue to get better throughout this meet. They're going to feed on the crowd, especially on floor.
All right, well, we are just getting started here at Auburn Arena. Everybody's having a good time. It's SEC Gymnastics and Friday Night Heights. What's not to love? We're back with much more when we return to the Plains here on SEC Network.
And remember, fans, Auburn Gymnastics will be in Duluth, Georgia for the SEC Gymnastics Championships on Saturday, March 23rd. Tickets and more information can be found on secsports.com.
I'm going to take it off. This is just economic. You need tickets? All right, I need you to sign that. And then you can leave it with that. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, get out the way. Get out the way. Hey, get out the way. Get out the way. I'm going in. I'm making plays. So get out the way.
Next week, we'll continue the gymnastics season. 2 meets on Friday Night Heights. Action starting at 7 Eastern. Number 4 Florida taking on 19th ranked Missouri. Then at 8:30 Eastern, Sam and I will head to see Auburn take on number 3 LSU. All meets can always be seen live on the ESPN app as well. What a great start for the LSU Tigers in Baton Rouge with a 196-725 getting a win. So we're looking forward to being at the PMAC next week. There are some key returners, there's no doubt about it, but also some freshmen for Auburn that are set to make a big impact.
Well, the coaches have told us how excited they are for these freshmen, and I'm also excited to see these freshmen. I remember watching Aria compete as an elite gymnast from Ohio, and Cassie Stevens is, of course, doing all around tonight, so we're going to see how she stands here in all 4 events.
And on the other side, for Alabama, this is a program that is looking to get back to the NCAA Nationals. It's an important season, no doubt. Last year ending in heartbreak in Ann Arbor in the regional final, finishing 3rd behind UCLA and Michigan. And we are getting set here to begin rotation number 2. Alabama on the vault, Auburn transitioning to the bars. The number 6 vault rotation in the country last year, the Crimson Tide, and Shea Mahoney, who averaged a 9.8 on this event.
Looking to get things going with a clean Yurchenko layout full. Wow, legs were glued together in the air just to hop back at the end.
It's what Dana Duckworth told us too, especially early in the season. Much more important to be clean than try something with a high level of difficulty, even though that's not easy.
Absolutely. You see she had straight arms on the table there, and that's what helps her get so much height off the table. And a big hug from Dana never hurts anything.
Auburn on bars, the number 8 bars rotation in the country last year. This was their best event. 4 gymnasts averaging 9.85 or better.
Well, she hasn't competed bars for them yet. And they put her first, which is a really important role. Was able to hold that handstand. Had to work for that one. Didn't quite make it to vertical. Finishing double layout. Clean landing there. I would have loved to see her stretch her hips. Finish in that layout position just a tad bit longer. But again, that is being very picky for this talented freshman.
The tone setter right here for the Tigers.
A good hit bar routine for them. Open, 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 and that last one, she pikes it down. If she stretched just a little bit longer, she'd be able to find that stick.
Here is Maddie Dash, Dana Duckworth telling us the best that she's ever looked physically. She is incredibly strong. Team putting in a new conditioning program a couple of seasons ago, making it much harder. And Maddie told us before the meet, these warm-ups are a piece of cake.
And she said her vault has gotten better because of it. She's training a 1.5, but just competing a full here today. She didn't have as much height off the table as her teammate Shea did, but again, a good, clean shape in the air, which is another thing the judges are looking for. Bent her arms a little bit on the table, which is what caused her not to rise as high as her teammate Shea did on that previous vault.
Here's another impact freshman out of Castle Rock, Colorado, Adeline Sabados. A 9.8 last week at the Collegiate Challenge. She loves this event. Why? Because you're able to defy gravity, so I wonder if she might be a Wicked fan as well.
Well, she gets a good handstand to start it off. A little close on that release move. Nice transition element from high to low. And again, just a little shy on that last handstand. You could see her face at the end. She said, ooh. Sometimes when you let go of the bar, right after you let go, you realize it's just a tad bit off on the timing, and that's what it looked like happened here. Toes come off the bar a little early, which is why she was close. And stretches. But hey, it's another hit routine for the University of Auburn on bars.
Speaking about great freshmen, this one, Luisa Blanco out of Dallas. Dana Duckworth very high on. She was silver in all-around at the Junior Olympic Nationals in 2017.
Yurchenko, layout. Cleanest landing we've seen from Alabama on vault. And the craziest thing is she finished high school a semester early to arrive on campus a few days before Christmas. That's not even a month earlier from now to join this team.
I think they had something like 6 practices total in college before this meet.
That's what she said. But she said the freshmen have been acclimating really nicely. You see the height off the table there. She gets a good amount of height, which is why she finishes in a vertical position. And proud moment from coach right there, knowing that her freshmen can just jump right into things.
And here's another newcomer, Aria Brush out of Cincinnati for Auburn. She is the reigning National Junior Olympic Bars champion.
And this is one of the freshmen that I'm particularly excited to see. I think she's going to be phenomenal for them. Steady Eddie, a really consistent competitor. Nice shapes in that double layout. I actually saw her stick a really nice one in warm-up. But again, competition setting as a freshman, you get a little extra adrenaline that maybe you don't account for at the beginning of your year.
And that can throw off your routine just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You overshoot things just a tad.
Well, let's continue with the line of freshmen. Ella Burgess out of Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, the reigning Florida State vault champion. Just like Louisa, just after Christmas got to campus.
Yurchenko layout full. Clean landing there. And you just see big smiles. There's nothing like that feeling of competing in your school's leotard for the very first time. She gets really good block off the table. You see her hips are stretched right there and her head is above that mark at the top. Spotting the table, clean landing.
So now we go back to experience in Drew Watson. This is her season debut on the bars. All SEC as a freshman, and they're going to rely on her. Jeff Graben so high on the season that Drew Watson could have this year.
Hopefully she's gaining momentum from that phenomenal vault that she did earlier. Coaches say she didn't compete bars last weekend because some muscle strains, but she's feeling much better and is able to even hold that handstand after the high-to-low transition. Had to work for that last one. Spotting the landing, and her feet must have glue on it today because from that vault, and now she's 2 for 2, hitting that bar dismount as well.
And that vault was a 9-9. Great start for her in the all-around.
Good release move here. Catches it right on point. And of course, a highlight for me was this dismount. Nails it in, clicks her heels together. Perfect landing.
Here is Lexi Graber. Averaged a 9.855 on vault last year.
It's their first 10-0 vault in the lineup. She's going to be doing a Yurchenko 1.5. Good. Yurchenko 1.5. You can see how far away from the table she was, and she still had extra momentum at the end.
Plenty of smiles and high fives all around after that big one.
Not only is Lexi a powerful gymnast, but she's also a quick twitch gymnast. Look how high she is off the table and opens her arms out at the perfect time to find her landing.
At this point on vault, the lowest score, Maddie Desch's 9.7. That would be dropped. And here is Gracie Day, the senior from San Antonio, who's become a fan favorite inside Auburn Arena. Competed on bars every meet last year. All SEC as a freshman and sophomore.
Well, the first thing I noticed about her bars is how beautiful her toe point is. Nice catch above the bar into that high to low transition. And double Arabian. Let's call it a college stick there on the landing. Immediate dismount from that handstand.
High degree of difficulty and well executed, you would say, in this rivalry matchup.
Absolutely. She hits the handstand there and goes directly into that double Arabian she already has, like this Yurchenko double full.
Olsen with a silver medal at the World Championships over the summer for Canada and helping her team again qualify all the way to Tokyo. And here is Darian Goborn. The sophomore last week, a 9.0. She ended up falling. It was what Jeff Graben called a complete outlier. We do not expect Darian Goborn to have that kind of performance, and she anchors Auburn on bars.
Yeah, he attributes it to the fact that his team was treating it too much like a practice. He said they needed more adrenaline, more excitement, and what more than this arena here tonight. Beautiful transition there. You notice how explosive and dynamic she is on vault, but she actually brings that energy to bars as well. Looking for a stick here.
She got it.
She nails it.
Loudest Auburn Arena has been all night.
She needed a little redemption after her last week's bar routine. But look how high this Takata release move gets, and then followed by pack salto immediately. And of course, legs glued together in that tuck full and dismount. She knows she has it before her feet even touch the ground. That's when it feels good.
Both teams playing up to the emotion and the intensity. Alabama looking great though on the very difficult environment. Lexi Graber, a huge 9.85 on vault. Tie.
As an Alabama gymnast, I think my favorite rivalry is definitely Auburn.
Yeah, Alabama it's an in-state rival. You can't dodge that everybody in this community wants to see us match up against them. So probably as a community thing, that's my favorite.
Their fans are crazy. Their fans are really out there. I just remember going there and their fans were just crazy. And we know you're not cheering for us, but we're going to use that and we're going to act like you're cheering for us. And so it's actually just a lot of fun.
That's the Iron Bowl of gymnastics.
It's that healthy competition that you just want to win. And so to see that carry on from sport to sport, I think that's what makes it my favorite.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that the energy has matched the intensity of this rivalry. And I think you throw these numbers out the window here, Sam, because Jeff Graba has this Auburn team rolling like they've never been before.
It's a program on the rise. We keep saying that, but he knows it. He said we're able to recruit more talented athletes, and we do. We have the talent from the freshman level all the way to the senior level in the leadership. But he said our job now is to prove it.
They are trying to get their first win against the Crimson Tide since 2016. They came super close in the SEC finale last year and just came up short. But we will see Skylar Shepard on our triple header here on Friday night. Heights, Molly Court, the all-around winner with the 39.625. And then a big score for LSU to start off the year, 196.725.
It looks like they were able to put it together. Some people thrive on competing in different arenas, and they were in Georgia, like you mentioned. It's not an easy arena to pull out the win.
Emma Slappy will begin things for Auburn on beam. A rough go of things at the Collegiate Challenge last week, 48.65. You would expect that score to get better. The senior from Jacksonville, Florida, start things off.
Well, I had the opportunity to ask why she was starting, and head coach Jeff Graba said, well, she has a difficult routine. He said it's short and sweet, to the point, and if she's on, she's on. She has experience, and that's why they want her to set the tone for this lineup.
Didn't compete on beam last year, but did in her first 2 years.
Of course,
the judges are looking for.
Points of emphasis, the 180-degree leap acro series, which we just saw from Emma, the back handspring layout, and of course the landing, not only on the beam, but off the beam too. I love how clean her arms are in these transitions. Again, we were told it was a quick routine. She's getting off the beam already, but very minimal deductions here. Here's a switch leap, not quite that 180 mark.
SEC last year, and no doubt in her senior season, trying to take Alabama back to nationals, although it is a lot harder now. 8 teams qualifying instead of 12, and Dana Duckworth and company found that one out the hard way because they came up just shy against Michigan.
But I thought it was interesting when we chatted with Shay. She said it was her favorite part of being at Alabama because they came back hungry, ready to work, and we're seeing it here tonight. All of their hard work pay off. Nice double pike. Sometimes early in the season, you don't see that adrenaline, you don't see the conditioning check out, but they told us they have been conditioned, and it shows up on that last pass. She was not tired, her chest was up.
Clean start for Dana Duckworth and the Tide.
She starts off strong with a big double tuck. I love how when she hits the ground, her chest is already vertical. Double pike to that lunge quickly.
Here is Aria Brush, the freshman, trying to follow up the 9/8 that Emma Slappy threw down to begin the rotation.
Well, she came from Cincinnati Gymnastics Academy, was an elite gymnast there, and I think it's interesting to note that her assistant coach here, Ashley Priest-Johnson, was actually her coach for 3 years in club gymnastics, so she knows exactly how to coach her, how to calm her down, how to get her ready for a competition.
Slight balance check there. Yeah, consistency never hurts.
Yeah, very off on that series, but I think it shows experience knowing that she's only a freshman and was able to hang on to that. Moving nicely through this beam routine.
Just the dismount.
Back handspring, 1.5.
Well done.
Learning how to stick is a good thing here for Aria. The one noticeable error in this beam routine was that back handspring layout, and it looks like she just didn't get her push out of her back foot in that back handspring before the layout, but finishes nicely with the stuck dismount.
Sam, how do you use this home crowd to your advantage?
You thrive off the energy. Just looking around and seeing everyone wearing your colors, there's nothing like it.
Are you picturing yourself in Pauley Pavilion right now?
Yeah.
Griffin James, the sophomore from Virginia Beach, in her first ever start, did exhibitions on floor last year.
Hangs onto that landing. Big E-pass full into start.
Five-time Virginia state champion. What are you thinking about right here, Sam, when you're going through your floor routine? Are you just, it's so automatic at this point?
I personally would just think to breathe. They make it look so easy, and usually they're smiling through it, but you have to remember just how exhausting and how much energy you're exerting. There's the 2-pass routine that we're going to see a couple of today with that new rule. Of course, we're starting with a 9.4 start value on floor, bars, and beam. But the good news is there's more opportunity to get that 1/10 bonus.
SEC Network will have you covered from New Orleans for the national championship game on Monday, kicking things off with Marty and McGee at 2 Eastern. Then the Paul Feinbaum show at 6. It's SEC Nation right up until kickoff, and then you can catch the big one against Clemson with the LSU radio broadcast team. And then we're not even done. Wrap up the day with our SEC Now post-game show. Everything live on the ESPN app as well. Kind of a big one coming up in New Orleans on Monday, I would say. One thing we know, the Tigers are going to win, whether it's LSU or Clemson. I wonder if the Auburn and Alabama gymnasts are going all SEC all the way, or maybe they want to see LSU suffer a little bit.
They like this rivalry in any sport. Look at the arena.
Cassie Stevens, her first collegiate beam routine.
And we're going to see her do the Stevens.
I can't wait.
Right there.
Oh!
A skill that's named after her. Oh! That would always be the hardest part, when you nail the hardest skill in your beam routine and then wobble on something silly. That's really easy.
Just the wolf turn right after that. But, well, she did nail what she wanted to. And a good dismount.
And again, another stick from the freshman. They've been working hard on the details, just like Alabama has. They've been telling us that those landings are coming easier to them earlier in the season. There's a switch ring. We'll see what the judges have to say. It's high enough. I don't know if it's totally 180 yet. Sometimes the quick twist gymnast can get away with it. And there's the most impressive part of this beam routine, the Stevens.
I mean, you were an incredible beam worker. How hard is that to do?
Oh, my. I could never do that.
Did win a couple of national championships, though, so you did okay for yourself.
I had a couple tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah, just a few. Maddie Deschanel, the senior. 3.99s last year on floor, including at SECs and in the NCAA regionals. She has learned how to compete at the highest level when the stakes are their greatest.
Starting with a clean double pike.
Maddie trained at Gage in Missouri, the same gym as Tide national champion Taryn Humphrey. And of course, you might recognize this name, Sarah Finnegan, who won 2 uneven bar titles for LSU. Just 2 of many outstanding gymnasts to come out of Gage.
Wow, what I love is that her tumbling passes are just so clean.
And trying to follow up Griffin James 9.825 in her collegiate debut on floor.
Head coach Dana Duckworth said that Maddie is having the best year. She said that she's strong as an ox and looks physically better and more fit than she's ever looked. And I think that's apparent here in this floor routine, especially this early in the season. To not even look like you're out of breath after that third pass, that is impressive.
A very strong floor routine so far here for Alabama.
This combination pass was really fun to watch. Look at it. She does a 1.5 punch front layout half, split jump, a lot of height there, into a front tuck, and jumps out of it even. Follows up with a clean double tuck to a stick there. Dana has to be happy that her conditioning is paying off here in these floor routines.
And now Meredith Sylvia. Competed on beam 14 times last season. It's her favorite event because of the artistry that you get to employ. And this is a beautiful routine.
Even though Auburn is competing a lot of freshmen, Jeff Graba, head coach, said that these juniors and seniors have a lot of drive because They feel pressure to continue the legacy of excellence that's been started the past couple of years.
She talked about that move too, and how when she executes it perfectly, the whole arena there's an audible gasp.
And they did.
And she got the reaction she wanted.
Off there, you could see none of her toes were on the beam when she landed, but squeezed her core and didn't even wobble. That's the mark of a veteran on beam. Nice beam set there from Meredith Sylvia.
They're trying to better Cassie Stevens' 9.75.
Here's her jump combination, sheep jump, and only has 3 toes on the beam before she pulls them back on. Finishing with a cartwheel gainer full off the side. Easy stick there.
And they make it look so easy, but that beam is 4 inches wide. Think of how wide 4 inches is, and if you could stand on that, and not only stand, but jump off of it and land. Shalyn Olsen, the Olympian, looking to get to her second this summer in Tokyo. She qualifies at the Canadian National Championships.
We talk about the difficulty she brings, and this first tumbling pass right here is the most difficult tumbling pass you'll see in the NCAA. It's called a double-double, 2 flips and 2 twists in the air before she lands.
Oh.
And almost takes it.
Not bad for the first meet. Just a sophomore now. Dana Duckworth told us last year was such a whirlwind for her. It's so different competing in the elite level and then going to college, isn't it?
Absolutely, but with Shalyn still trying to compete internationally, she actually has 2 floor routines that she's working on. This easy, quote-unquote, easy college floor routine with 2 passes, and her elite one with 4 passes.
Second.
Chest was a little low on the landing. Of course, with the new rule, you don't need to do 3 passes. You still have to get the same amount of bonus points, but finishing with a 2 flip pass like she did automatically gets you 1/10 bonus. Here's that double-double. Look how quickly she's able to get 2 twists in there. Just has that extra mat for a little extra ankle support.
Well, the crowd just erupted because they posted the score of Meredith Sylvia, a 9.9. And that will certainly help out the final score for Auburn on beam. Drew Watson trying to add to it.
Well, she's had a good day so far on vault and bars.
Watson had a 9.9 on vault.
Sharp backhand spring layout.
And a 9.85 for Shalyn Olsen on floor for Alabama. Along with Cassie Stevens, the only 2 all-arounders in the lineup for Jeff Graba.
I'd like to see her absorb these landings on the beam just a tad more. She is so tight when you land, you can see it. But her legs are so straight, and that's why you're seeing a little bit of a wobble happen. Finishing round off 1.5 to another clean landing for Drew Watson. Solid back handspring layout. You see her back leg bending just a little bit in that back handspring and the layout, but finishes with a clean 1.5.
Such an incredible environment for these gymnasts to be participating in. It is, if not a sellout, it is close to it. And this isn't a crowd that's just going to go and watch. They are going to actively participate in the meet. And here is Lexi Graber, the only all-arounder in the lineup for Alabama. This is one of her better events, though. She is excellent on floor. 3 wins last year.
Starting off with an open full in to a big lunge.
So much power, Sam.
She stepped on the line, but that is not a deduction. You're allowed to step on the line, just not over the line. Of course, if you do step over, it's a 1/10 deduction.
Graber won the all-around at regionals in Tuscaloosa in 2018. Trying to get Alabama back to the NCAA Nationals. Dana Duckworth told us she feels as good about this team as any, and they're paying it off here.
Clean double pike. It's a good floor routine from Lexi Graber. I've seen her do cleaner landings on those tumbling passes, but I just attribute to those little minor, I'm being picky because she is so good, but she just has so much power, and I attribute that to first meet jitters, having a little extra adrenaline in the tank there. Big lunge, but again, veteran gymnast, she knows where the line is, she's not gonna go out of bounds. Finishes, tuck through to a double pike. And again, just a little off-centered lunge there, but only minor deductions.
Skylar Shepard, the senior, tied for the team high with a 9.8 last week at the Collegiate Challenge. She was one of the lone bright spots for Auburn, and we'll see if she can take that momentum into the first home meet of the year. 15th career start on beam.
Nice back handspring layout. What I love about Skylar on beam is her extension. She pushes all the way through the balls of her feet. Her legs are straight on every skill and her toes are pointed. Very clean gymnastics.
Skylar anchoring, trying to follow up Drew Watson's 9.875. At this point, they would drop Aria Brush's 9.7.
Beautiful routine so far. She looks so confident. Finishing back handspring to a 1.5. I didn't see many deductions at all. That's going to be a big number for them to finish with on beam.
That's why Shepard is the anchor. Huge
Sometimes on
routine.
beam, you just need to get a little momentum from your first skill, and this was a back handspring layout for Skylar Shepard. Nails the first element and finishes strong with a back handspring 1.5 and fights for that stick.
What are the attributes for being a great beam worker?
I think number one is confidence, because with confidence, you are a little bit more solid and a little bit more sharp, especially when you might be off balance.
Here's the freshman Makari Doggett out of Ohio. Her first collegiate floor routine. She is the two-time defending national champion in this event, though, in Junior Olympics.
Starting with a pike full in. She barely touched her hands on that back handspring. That's how powerful of an athlete she is.
Dana Duckworth dancing right along with Makari's routine. And she's as excited as anybody to see this freshman compete.
When we talked to her, the first thing she said was, she's really good at gymnastics, and she has a really great personality, too.
That seems to be the running theme with Alabama. Not just all about the skills, not about the talent, but about the type of person as well. One deep breath, final pass.
there at the end. I think she was going for a stick. Well, again, sometimes as a freshman, you dance too hard, you run out of energy in the tank, but a highlight for me in this routine was her first pass, pipe full in, great air awareness. Her chest was completely vertical when she landed.
They just posted Skylar Shepard's 9.925, which is the best in that rotation. And looking at the all-around so far, it's a tight matchup between Drew Watson and Lexi Graber. When we come back, the story of how an Auburn gymnast went from being unable to walk to joining the love of her life at the end of the aisle in just 2 months. You don't want to miss it. We're back to Auburn Arena right after this. One in this rivalry matchup between Alabama and Auburn, just a 10th difference after 3 rotations. Last spring, Sam Serio was heading towards a couple of the greatest months of her life, kicking off with a chance to lead Auburn to nationals as a senior, and the storybook was unfolding until a catastrophic injury on floor. Serio dislocated both of her knees, tore ligaments, and broke her left leg, sending shockwaves through the gymnastics community, but leaving her more motivated than ever.
I don't really think I thought that much about graduation or about the wedding until I got back to Auburn and I started doing my physical therapy with all of the trainers. I knew it was going to be a long process, especially since at the very beginning of this I wasn't even allowed to have any of my weight on my legs. My legs kept on getting stronger, my endurance in them got better, and my confidence in what I was going to be able to do, especially for both of those big events, just grew more and more. Every day I was getting stronger, every day I was working hard, and they knew that no matter what, they were going to help me work towards this goal, and they knew that I was going to work as hard as I could towards both of those goals. When they called my name, oh my goodness, the amount of just hearing all the support and all the cheers from everyone in the building was absolutely amazing. Like, it was one of the coolest things ever. It was almost like I was back competing in Auburn Arena, because there were just so many people that were there that wanted to see this moment and wanted to share this moment with me. That was just the most amazing thing. So my focus was mostly on my physical therapy after graduation. Really what everyone wanted me to focus on anyway was making sure that I was getting better, that my legs were getting stronger, that everyone really helped me get to that goal of walking at my wedding. It was one of the greatest feelings I had ever felt, and being able to see Trey at the end of the aisle was just so emotional. There's so much joy in those moments.
Special thanks to Andrew Aaron with War Eagle Productions, who shot and edited that fantastic piece. Sam Serio, well decorated, and now walking down the aisle, graduating. She is about to start the rest of her life, and an incredible story of fortitude and perseverance. Her Tigers on the floor when we come back to Auburn Arena. Well, the performance is holding up to how tight this rivalry has been recently. Just a 10th difference between Alabama and Auburn with 1 rotation to go. Alabama, the road team, they are on beam, the number 11 beam rotation in the country last year, and it is the Olympian Shallon Olsen who is trying to set the tone here for Dana Duckworth. And ending on beam is a really tough thing to do, isn't it?
It typically is, but I've seen Alabama end on beam, and they actually are really strong on this event. And you're going to see they have good beam competitors. They're very calm up there, especially starting off with Shallon Olsen. You can see her beam style is very light. She lands everything beautifully. Back handspring, layout, layout. That's a difficult series.
One of the more talented gymnasts, not only in the NCAAs, but I mean in the entire world.
She's the athlete that does have those big skills, but Dana said she's still working on the college gymnastics, cleaning up all of the skills she does have.
Yeah, sometimes more about execution than anything else.
Absolutely, especially in college, the attention to detail is so important. And that hop on the dismount, those little deductions add up over the course of a lineup. Really impressive back handspring to a double twist. Just didn't quite get the landing there. But what Dana said she's going to measure this meet in terms of success is how comfortable and how happy and enjoyed they looked on the balance beam.
And also remember, in each rotation, 6 gymnasts will perform. Only 5 scores will count, so the lowest will be dropped here in the final rotation. So if there is some sort of slip up, the teams can come back from it, that is. Emma Slabby, all SEC in 2017. Only competed on floor last year where she had a high of 9.85.
Opens with a front layout to Rudy. This fourth quarter rally is really gonna go back and forth, routine by routine, and Shalyn Olsen, it was a good routine, but she opened the door with a couple mistakes.
Do you know how close it is right now if you're competing?
Some gymnasts like to know, some gymnasts do not.
What about you? Oh!
Looks like she just completely lost where she was in the air.
Not a great start from Auburn because they're gonna, I would imagine, hope to drop that. And so they need 5 hits after this. Of course, it's all variable. It all depends on what Alabama does on beam.
Absolutely. Heading into that third pass. Just a layout.
Try to keep it clean on that final pass.
Of course, with how traumatic of a season they ended with Sam Serio, we just watched the video. Of course, the whole team is just looking a little bit concerned, hoping that she's okay and not injured. This is the pass where it went wrong. Round off, back handspring, double pike, and just didn't jump up enough, was extremely short there. I wish I could describe how bad that hurts landing short on a double flip pass.
And so the door was propped open just a little bit by Shalyn Olsen. It is swung wide open now after Emmy Slappy. And here is Ella Burgess. We'll see if the freshman can take advantage. She is the reigning Florida State beam champion out of Ponte Vedra Beach. Oh, and she's off.
Didn't see her fall at all on beam in warm-up. She's typically very consistent on this event. Oh. This is where we're seeing a little bit of her youth
Freshman
right
nerves
there. Freshman nerves. Once you make one mistake, your score might still count. You cannot make a second mistake.
So Shalyn Olsen turned in a 9.8. That is not going to hurt Alabama too much. They're going to be looking to drop Ella's score.
Another aspect of college gymnastics is just the pressure you feel from a team perspective. You want to do so well. She knows Alabama's win is on her shoulders right now. Sometimes we call it trying too hard. One arm back handspring layout. She was a little crooked, but it looks like she could have saved that. We call that reactive gymnastics, where she was just a tad off and got a little nervous from that instead of just playing it calm. Of course, getting a pep talk from Dana.
Words of wisdom from the 6th-year head coach to the freshman, who has many better days ahead of her, we're sure. And now here is Cassie Stevens, who is finishing out her first floor routine inside Auburn Arena and her first all-around with the Tigers.
Well, both Alabama and Auburn are hoping to drop their last score.
The moment is not usually too big for Cassie Stevens, though. She's competed in 4 Nastia Lukin Cups. She knows the big stage like many of these gymnasts do.
This is going to be a good test to see if she can handle the pressure. Clean double pike to start off the routine.
You breathe an extra sigh of relief after you hit that?
Absolutely. You gain a little bit of confidence from every single pass you hit.
Still waiting on the score for Cassie Stevens. It was an 8-9 for Emma Slavny, so they're definitely going to look to drop that score.
Short on that front layout to Rudy, but gets her chest up very quickly at the end. And she can do the Stevens on floor as well.
Got to milk it for all it's worth. You got a skill named after you. This could be a huge pass right here.
Finishes double tuck. Again, a little shy on that last pass. Auburn really needed her score, and for a freshman, she was able to deliver that. That's got to make them feel good. Her first pass was a highlight, starting with a double pike to a clean lunge. Switch ring into that switch half. Nice extension.
Alonza Clawfer now, who is a beam specialist for the Crimson Tide. This is her only event. The junior from New Jersey. She's got a little bit of pressure on her shoulders as well, with Ella Burgess turning in an 8.55.
Beautiful connection, front aerial to that back handspring.
Are you surprised a little bit in this rotation at the lack of execution?
A little bit, but you see the difference between the freshman that just went and this junior. She started to wobble and then pulled it right back on, and that's the mark of someone that's been under this sort of pressure before.
Yeah, you see that fight.
She still looks loose up there. She looks like she's having a good time. And she's really thinking, how can I get off this beam as quickly as possible? It wasn't a perfect routine, but it was a solid routine, and they need that score.
Tonight after gymnastics, Dari Noka, Tim Tebow, Greg McElroy, and Gene Chiswick kicking off SEC Network's almost 20 hours of coverage from New Orleans. Everything you need to know about the Bayou Bengals' quest to get it done. SEC Now and Friday Night Heights is done. Joe Burrow and company on Monday taking on Clemson. That is going to be a wild one. Two of the best quarterbacks in the country, with Burrow going up against another incredible talent, Trevor Lawrence. All right, Aria Brush, and now once again, we keep saying this, pressure on these freshmen shoulders. What a huge start with Cassie Stevens with a 9.6. They're going to have to count that, so they'll need some huge numbers from Brush and company.
Well, she started off with a big full in and didn't put her heel down to go out of bounds. I watched her compete a lot when she was growing up, and I've never seen her smile this big. I love seeing that when gymnasts come to college.
She loves this routine, Sam, because the music makes her feel like she's at the start of a party, like she's beginning it for everybody here inside the arena.
I feel like I want to go to a party.
I'll join you, if I'm invited, that is, of course.
She's getting a little extra help from the fans.
And they reward her. That is the epitome of clutch.
She took a step forward and then went to a lunge, and right after she did that, you could see her go quickly to the lunge. And that's just habit from trying to stick her tumbling passes in the elite world. But look how big this first pass is. I don't think she even needs to run. Excuse me, this is her second pass, 1.5 to lay out. Good tumbling passes. I just want to see those landings a little bit cleaner, and that's going to come over time.
Well, that will certainly help Auburn's quest for their first win over Alabama since 2016, and now Luisa Blanco, her first taste of pressure in college.
Beautiful artistry right from the beginning of this routine.
It's been so much fun to watch these young gymnasts tonight. The future is so bright for both of these programs.
Nice back handspring layout. Her toe point is stunning on every single skill.
Trying to better Alonza Kloffer's 9.7.
Difficult leg up turn.
What makes that so hard?
Because your leg is up. It's called a leg up turn, Alex. Come on. Full turns are the sneaky skill in every beam routine that get you, no matter if you're a level 6 gymnast or a college gymnast, someone is always wobbling on a full turn in a competition.
Sure. Dismount.
Beautiful routine from the freshman. Way to deliver under that pressure.
And a great way to start her career.
Well, she's a former elite gymnast and was able to impress all of us with her lines and her polish. Look how sharp those landings are. She is going to be a key contributor over splits. No question of whether she hits 180.
Absolutely needed that one in the worst way. And here is Skylar Shepard. That marked 9.775 last week. Actually, the time for the team high at the Collegiate Challenge. Aria Brush posted a 9.875 a routine ago. The Aladdin theme music. She likes to incorporate belly dancing into this. Changing it up, unique.
She's also incorporating difficult tumbling passes, but you gotta wait till the end to see it. Starting with a combination pass to a stick.
Skylar started her career in Arizona and comes from a gymnastics family. Older sister Austin competed in Michigan. Her brother Ryan at Stanford. Multiple All-American and floor championships. When she transferred from Arizona to Auburn, she said that it gave her her love of gymnastics back. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery.
Well, you're seeing it here on 4, and she only has 2 passes, but she's ending with an E pass. Usually gymnasts start with their E pass. This is a triple 3 times around. No problem.
Skylar Shepard following up Aria Brush. And we got ourselves a meet inside Auburn Arena.
That was a fun routine. I love seeing her switch things up, putting the more difficult pass as her last pass. Here's the first one though, 1.5 to lay out. And again, it's not a deduction if you jump to a lunge, but sometimes in the air, you know when you're in that perfect position to find the stick. Triple full, quickly to that lunge. No problems there.
That should be a big score. Luisa Blanco posted a 9.9 right before Makari Doggedu goes right now. She won this event at the 2018 National Junior Olympic. Also the all-around champion. Getting down to the wire here, Sam. This is fun.
Well, Makari is a competitor. But again, think about it. The makeup of this lineup has 3 freshmen, and 2 of them have only had 6 practices as an Alabama gymnast. That is tough.
Pressure does not faze Makari, though. He's been in this situation time in and time out.
Side aerial to a full. When you put it in perspective, even though she's a freshman, she's a veteran freshman compared to the other 2.
Oh, sure.
She's been keeping the other 2 involved, keeping them in text message threads so they feel like a part of the team. Switch leap, front leg is a little low at the peak, but good transition right to that switch half and finishing side aerial to a back layout full. One little slide of that right foot, but not a big deduction.
Drew Watson salutes, and we're ready to go for the junior from Tyler, Texas. Right now, Auburn leading by just a little over 2/10, but of course, still gymnasts to compete.
Starting with a double pike. Now she has an E-pass, a double Arabian. Head coach Jeff Graba said, we're gonna see if the first 4 hit, she's gonna do the double Arabian. And of course, they needed her to play it safe. They need that score.
Watson also fighting for an all-around championship here tonight. Lexi Graber, the only one that could take that away. And she is the anchor that will go on beam for Alabama in a moment.
Clean second pass.
Focus on Drew's face. One more to go.
Of course, she didn't compete floor last week, so this is going to be her first floor routine of the year.
Big.
Just like the other 3 events, had no problem putting a solid routine here on the floor. And you can tell she's a fan favorite in this arena.
Yeah, the junior electrifying Auburn Arena for head coach Jeff Graba.
1.5 to clean layout, working out of it. And that double tuck to end with, gets her chest up nicely, lifts her foot a little bit, but again, not a major deduction there.
2 gymnasts left. Lexi Graber for Alabama, the reigning SEC beam queen, posting a 9.95. 5 wins on beam last season.
Oh.
That's a surprise.
That, she completely missed her foot, and I actually think it looked like she really hit that ankle, but she jumped up right away.
Remember, Alabama is trying to drop Ella Burgess's 8.55.
So she cannot have another mistake here.
And this is after Drew Watson for Auburn on floor posted a 9.9.
I'm still shocked by how quickly she jumped up there, but I think she was surprised by her own mistake. Extremely uncharacteristic from Lexi Graber.
Unexpected, to say the least.
Looks like she's just off right from the beginning of this routine, that front toss at the end. She normally brings her leg through. Again, this is not a normal mistake from her. Back handspring layout. Completely crunches her right ankle on that beam, the one that's already taped. That's not a good thing for her. But she was able to finish the rest of the routine, which sounds promising.
And it is in the hands of the birthday girl. Darian Gobourn celebrating her 20th by the numbers, even though she is the reigning national vault champion. This was her strongest event last season.
Come on, Darian loves this. She knows that they just had a fall on beam, and her score is gonna count.
She is, I can't even imagine how amped up, because we know how she is generally. She is ready to own Auburn Arena.
The crucial thing for her on this floor routine is to control the adrenaline. Maybe take an extra breath before she goes. Huge double tuck.
Enough amplitude for you, Sam?
Wow. I think she could have done a triple with how high that was.
She's not competing in the all-around in this meet. She did win at least a share of that title 5 times last year, and I'm not sure we'll see her out of the all-around lineup too much the rest of the season. Lexi Graber posted a 9.175. They have to count that. Darian needs a 9.25 for Auburn to win the meet.
I love this. Heading into her last pass. Double
She did it!
tight.
Auburn's gonna beat Alabama.
And the team knows it. They are rushing the floor as Darian is holding a crown above her own head after that floor routine.
Darian is the queen tonight. Happy birthday.
She is, but it was a team effort from Auburn all around, starting on vault. Really spectacular performance there all the way to the fourth quarter rally.
A clean sweep for the Tigers. Drew Watson is the all-around winner. Darian Gobourn cementing Auburn's first win since 2016 over their hated rival.
Open double tuck to finish that routine. Double pike at the end. Skylar in the corner. I don't know who jumped higher, Darian on our first pass or Skylar with the celebratory jump at the end.
War Eagle indeed on the plains. 9.95 for Darian Gobourn.
Well, head coach Jeff Graba was telling us how impressed he was with this team. He knows that it's a special group. He was frustrated by the score at the first meet and their performance, but I think they were able to put it back together and make up for it here tonight.
The 10th sellout inside Auburn Arena. When Jeff Graba got to the Plains, they had 66 season tickets sold. I would say the Tigers program is in different hands right now. Auburn wins it, 196-625 to 195-925. We are back after this to wrap things up and put a bow on a huge rivalry win for the Tigers. Auburn defeats Alabama for the first time since 2016, 196-625 to 195-925. And we are back with the all-around champion, Drew Watson, who also threw a 9.9 right before Darian Gobourn's 9.95 to help cement this victory. Congratulations, Drew.
Thank you.
What was it
incredible.
like, I mean, just to compete in this kind of environment and be able to take down your rival?
I mean, every week against the SEC teams, every week it's something special. Every week it brings a new competition. We weren't honestly thinking of it as any different meet. It was our first home meet. We were excited to get out there. I just can't believe it.
Did you come into this meet talking about wanting to beat Alabama?
No, in gymnastics you kind of just like, you have to take each team just as a team. I mean, everyone in the SEC is so incredible. You never know, and especially in this sport. I have so much respect for Alabama. I mean, I competed with them at nationals my freshman year, so I was like in the corner. I was like, "Hey guys!" Like, we weren't like allowed, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I want to be like mad at them, but I like them. I like everyone. So we weren't like, let's beat Bama. It honestly wasn't even a thing.
Well, your meet started off strong right from the vault, but what was the highlight for you today?
Just being back and all around. Last week, it was our first meet, and I just felt so bad. I felt like I wanted to be out there for our team. I don't like seeing our team like that. We, as everyone knows, we had like a struggle. So it was just nice to be all around. I kind of was just going into it like, let's get 4 events out there. I'm just happy to be just a part of the team, and it's incredible. We have an awesome team this year.
All right, Drew, take us through your night at 9-9 to start things off here on vault.
Honestly, this preseason, oh, there she is.
There you are.
Oh.
What were you thinking there on that vault?
I guess I didn't seem too excited, but I'm excited now looking back at it. Oh, here's my bars.
Really fought for those handstands.
Oh boy, oh my gosh. So a part of my neck issue, I don't know if you guys, yeah. I like can't hold my neck up. So like at the end, I was like going from here to like forward. So it just I had a lot of momentum, but I honestly wasn't really thinking too much about it. I was just, like I said, I was excited to be back out there.
And this is such a great way for you guys to start your SEC season. Last year, it was a record-setting year.
It was incredible.
And now you get a chance to just continue that momentum.
It's amazing. I think last year's senior class laid the foundation down really well, and they're still supporting us. Sam Serio texted me this morning, "Good luck, we're watching you." And so just having that and knowing what it feels like is able to help me as a leader on the team show the freshmen what it's supposed to be like. So
I think
awesome.
we have something for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I like your
well
Tigers. Oh, thank you.
A live delivery on television for the all-around.
No, I feel like I'm like the Bachelor maybe now. I accept the rose.
You got a couple of them now. Congratulations. What an
Thank you.
exceptional meet. Great way to start the season.
Yes, sir. It was awesome, and I hope our fans come back. We need them.
Well, they were here tonight.
Yes, it was electric.
And Drew Watson and the Auburn Tigers taking down Alabama. First time since 2016 here inside of a sold-out Auburn arena, and a great way to start things for the Tigers in 2020. That will do it for us here on the Plains. It was an exciting one. There's Drew's vault celebrating with the 9-9. She is the all-around champion. Darian Goborn cementing a mammoth win. With Sam Peshek, I'm Alex Perlman. So much for joining us, and we'll send you to SEC Now.